Okay.
You know what
I
they
don't know
do?
how to do that. I don't know
They've
what to do.
decided. Here's the funny thing, okay? There was a certain point where me as a fan,
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that we were going to get in some real shenanigans, let's say,
Okay.
real shenanigans when the whole world was looking at sports teams that were politically inaccurate for sure,
Mm-hmm.
right? Think about how many teams. Like now we have the Washington Commanders. Congratulations on picking an even worse name. Don't know
Right.
how, but hey, good job. So yeah, the Washington Commanders, who came down from the Washington Redskins, right?
Yeah.
We
No,
saw the
they fixed it.
Cleveland Indians, who are
Are
still the
no
Cleveland
longer the
Indians.
Indians. Yeah.
Are they not right? Yeah, the
Yeah.
Guardians
They're
are
the
they?
Guardians
Yeah,
now.
that's right. Are no longer the Indians.
Yeah.
However, and they got rid of Chief Yahoo.
Chief Wahoo.
Wahoo, Yahoo,
Wahoo.
same deal. Doesn't
Same
matter.
idea. Either way,
Real
it
bad.
sucks.
He was a Yahoo. He shouldn't have been in there.
Yeah.
He got rid of years ago.
Bad
Now,
idea.
the
Yeah.
Blackhawks, they came out with a statement that said, look, our team logo, here's why we have it. Here's why it's accurate. The name lines up, yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
And then what they decided to do was almost like a Mr. Bean, like, I'm just flipping everybody off. Fuck you all. We're actually worse underneath that logo.
The logo isn't even the worst part
the
of the
logo
problem.
is not a problem at all.
The logo is just nothing compared to the rest of it. Like I could care less about the logo.
I thought with
this
this team, we were out of the shit. I thought we were like, you know what? Okay, you're right. A lot of these teams need to change what they're doing. I agree on that for sure. And then all of a sudden, I was like, we did our stuff. We're clear. And then they just said, no, like, wool's been over your eyes.
Oh,
and
my God.
We're not only a bunch of pieces of shit.
Shout out to Brandon's rant, because that's the first time you started a podcast, and I'm going to roll the hell with that, because that was great. Welcome back to the B&B podcast.
Okay, for sure. Welcome back. I apologize. It is.
No, that was
hard.
very well deserved. I appreciated every part of that. That was fantastic.
It has hit me hard, man. Like it is. Yeah.
If you're listening and you haven't heard it yet, there's no way you haven't heard it yet. But
you got
last night at the Chicago Blackhawks, what do they call it? City Hall is what it's called. Mark Lazarus asked a question about what would happen, but like not necessarily what happened with the organization, but what they're doing going forward and what they've done to help what they did, essentially. Just kind of make up for what they that. Yeah, I don't really know how to word that, but he basically said, like, what are you guys doing now? And he didn't even ask Rocky Wirtz. He asked Danny, his son, who's also a part of the ownership group.
Okay.
And he asked Danny, he straight up said, hey, like, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And Rocky and his 900-year-old ass decided to chime in and just went off on Mark Lazarus for no reason. Like, it's just boneheaded move. Like, just like it basically the whole thing was like, that doesn't matter. Like, we're not worrying about 2010. Like, we're moving on. And like what we do in the organization doesn't concern you, as if the reason that we're in this situation isn't because you did stuff that didn't concern the rest of the world.
Right. You know what kind of brings me to, like, there was a song that came to mind, and it was the Dixie Chicks. Or I guess the Chicks. Sorry, see, my bad. See, still learning, growing.
See,
the Chicks.
Yes.
The Chicks said, forgive sounds good. Forget, I'm not sure I could. Right. No. That is fitting. And this is still unfolding. Now there is a University of Miami student who's come out and said there is more shit. Like, this is, like I said, this is probably the iceberg for what's actually been going on.
It is definitely the tip of the iceberg.
And you know what last night showed me? Last night showed me somebody who's been caught that is just like, do not look, because the guy said, like, if somebody from our organization were to ask me about it, we'll talk about it. But we're not talking about it, you and me. And that's just like
every word that came out of his mouth was brutal.
He shut was that his son? You said he shut his son down. His son tried to come in and probably give him more.
He tried to do the right thing.
And then he just came in and said, no, and kept going. Like, dude,
it was the definition of old man yelling at clouds, because it was just the wrong thing to say right from the start. And then when his son tried to chime in and fix the problem, he goes, no, we're not talking about it. Like, dude, use your head here. If you want to
say guilty, like, no shit. You just fucking showed your cards, man. You showed your card to the whole table, because you do not have that response. If you were chill and you know that there is nothing to find, then that's it. You are talking about it. Or if you were at a state right now where it's like, look, this has been up, this has shown up now.
Yep.
They're going to investigate this. Okay. Like, whatever. Still bad. However, now he just said no. He's like, don't talk about it. Don't bring up anything about that situation, or now even probably future situations. Pretty much what he was saying. Like
what else are you trying to hide? Like if you're still this concerned about people poking at you, what are you trying to hide?
Yes.
Like
and
your organization came forward and said you're going to do better. Prove it. Like, why is it so bad to tell us what you've been doing? It's because you've done nothing.
Can I just say this now? I am so in agreement with Marc-Andre Fleury and his first, like, not wanting to come here stance. Like, absolutely. Why would you?
No.
Why would you want to be part of
this? Marc-Andre Fleury, I want the hell out of here right now.
All of them should be asking to get off of this ship because absolutely you have 100% my support too, unless obviously you're involved in the situation.
I think if you're Kane or Taves, you're stuck there. I don't respect.
Unfortunately,
where you go at this
point. You are stuck.
This is what you are.
You're right. And
but anyone else needs to get the high road out of there.
And the thing is, though, is what you're probably the last two who are still there from a lot of what
they are the only two remaining guys.
Right. Okay. So Keith off to Edmonton now, who
they ship Keith out just in time.
Right. In the nick of time. Seabrook somehow gets his contract out of there, but even though he's been in, like, you know what I mean? But it's just, there's going to be a lot of questions surrounding that. And there's going to be a lot of people looking like this team. I don't expect to do well at all because, you want to talk about off ice stuff.
It's a nightmare.
That is
a nightmare.
That is,
and you're not helping the situation.
You feel so timid walking into any building, never mind your own building. You know what I mean? Like there's no home ice.
No,
this probably feels like, I'm sure they're hoping that fans actually get taken away the same way like in Toronto, because at least you know that it is,
you don't have to deal with it.
Building. Yes, it is just an empty building. You almost
The thing there too is a lot of season ticket holders and stuff are fed up. Like there's a bunch of people online I've seen that is like, we're not renewing our season tickets. Like, I'm not coming back to the shit show unless something changes. Like if you're Rocky Wirtz and you don't want to deal with this, hey, sell the team. If you're done answering these questions, sell the team. Unfortunately, this is something that happened under your watch and you tried to cover it up. You're going to have to deal with these questions for the rest of your life.
It's not like this is years over.
No,
it's not like this
is
10
years.
Right. Like no, but I mean,
the news came out this year.
That's what I'm saying. The actual breaking news of it is not over. This is still very fresh in people's minds. And as we said, this is still evolving. The fact that you've been not even like, maybe you've been a full year, but you haven't been anywhere near time that like wounds are going to heal. Like now there's more to it. And now you're having this kind of reaction, like like I would not be surprised, but then it also looks suspicious, man. You sell that team right now.
Yeah.
Why are you selling?
I think at this point they got to he has to step down.
Eventually, I think that's what it'll be, right? Like
if that's what he's saying in public at the city hall for the team, what the hell is he saying behind closed doors? Like there's not a good thing going on in that organization right now. Granted, the other two people that were with him, one was Eddie Olczyk. I'm assuming he was just moderating. But the other two that were there was her son, and I don't know the woman that was there. But the look on their face the entire time he was talking is like, well, what the hell are you doing? And like, I respect that for being like, what is this guy ranting about right now? And apparently Danny Wirtz, his son, talked to, I forget the name, but he was another reporter. And he told him after, he's like, look, I'm more than happy to sit down to you and talk about what we've done going forward. And like, I'm perfectly okay having that conversation.
Right.
And like, I think if you're Danny Wirtz or if you're whoever the other woman was in the situation, I think they're okay as leading it. I think they understand what happened and how they can fix it. Rocky Wirtz is just off the fucking rails.
I think this shows you the change in the generation of that hockey to this hockey, man, because like realistically, let's not be stupid here. There was a culture built within hockey that condoned things
that's still being torn down to this day. Like it's still not
like right. But the thing was, you don't say anything about it. And if you don't go through it, then you're not welcome here. Right.
Yep.
Everybody knows that. You played a little bit of competitive hockey. You know, there is a culture there, and that is everybody's fault who's involved, who did everything to not do anything. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All the people who said nothing and just kind of said
right from the get-go.
That's the culture for sure. Like everybody involved, and that's, I think you're seeing the change of this generation of hockey owners understand that these are people too. They're now getting a sense of personality, and it's not just being a hockey player. It is like being a legitimate human. And I think that is why you're seeing, reporters are allowed to go a lot further in their questions now.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I love it. I think reporters should just have free will to just talk about whatever.
And it's pushing stuff like this, it's pushing this envelope where you,
if you poke and prod these garbage people enough, they're going to show their true colors. And I think I respect that out of guys like Rick Westhead is leading the charge on it. He just asks the tough questions everywhere he goes. Unfortunately, they're trying to phase him out. because they will refuse to answer questions from him now, and I disrespect the hell out of them for it. But I really love when guys start doing that, because you start to see the true colors of guys that are in the sport and the guys that need to get out of the sport.
It's a part of the game for me.
Yeah.
Like that also is a part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta answer.
You as a human is also a part of this. Like, you're not just an athlete anymore. You have to.
Everybody's aware that everybody's aware that the NHL is a business as much as it's a sport. Like hockey is the sport for sure, but the NHL is the business, and that is what comes first. You've seen that time and time again, right? If it was about the sport, you'd never see lockouts, you'd never see labor disputes, money disputes. If it was for the love of sport, people would just play, and that's it.
I think the most embarrassing thing about this, like you mentioned, it's a business and hockey is a business as a whole. I think the most embarrassing thing is, to my knowledge, to this point, we haven't heard a damn thing from Gary Bettman. The guy that's the commissioner in the league hasn't said a damn thing about this entire sequence. It's been almost 24 hours. Right. And not a word has been said from him.
To me, Gary Bettman is kind of in that older, that
he's in that same group.
Right.
They're good friends.
Of the don't look at it. Yep. Don't look at it. It's not there. If you don't have to talk about it, if it wasn't directly related to us, which a lot of these guys, it wasn't, right? Mm-hmm. Upper management like that, it didn't directly affect them. So they moved on. Right. Yep. So
the only thing you can see, like I went to the NHL's PR account on Twitter, and like the only thing they're posting about is the All-Star game. So they're just trying to cover this up as best as they can and just hope people stop talking about it by just shoving All-Star content down my throat. Like, I don't care about the All-Star. The All-Star game means absolutely nothing right now. Like it's the last thing in hockey that matters. And you have all day today of nothing where guys like me and you can talk about this literally all day because nothing else is going on in the sport. Your All-Star game's not enough to distract from that.
What a time to have a break. Statement. Yeah, what a time to have a break, But for sure, they need to get in front of somewhere. This is the same thing as even in our country.
They're too late to get in front of it at this point.
Even in our country,
you need to try.
If our prime minister doesn't step forward with something major, like the immediate second that he's able to get up there and say something,
then it's too late.
Yeah, exactly. Then that's it. Everybody's calling for his head. It's the same kind of deal. Like,
it's like he's got to meet them there for it to be the right timing for people. Like,
he's got to know about it.
Yeah, he's got to be in the group planning it, being like, okay, hold on.
Yeah. No, he's got some burner account. No, we're gonna do this there, and then he comes in. He says, "Look, I don't condone what's about to happen," and then he just, for sure. No. That's
it's a mess. Hockey and the NHL sucks, man. I saw a tweet the other day. I forgive whoever tweeted it, but it was a great point. They're like, "Why don't we have term limits on commissioners?" I think that's a great idea. I'm like, we do it on the people that run the country.
Yeah.
Why don't we do it on the people that run the sport? Because they all wear out their welcome. It doesn't matter who you are. Roger Goodell kind of did the opposite move where he started like garbage and he's starting to get a little bit better. Like, I think it's just by association.
Who takes them out? Like, I know, like who's in charge?
I genuinely don't know.
It goes up and up and up. And then you're just here.
And then who just gets rid of the commissioner? I don't I know the owners vote in the commissioner, but who votes out the commissioner?
So then there's like a committee, I guess. So then if it's those guys, like then who's actually taking out the commissioner? So we just have to be buddies.
Does the Players Association have anything to do with who's in charge? Like I don't
know. No one knows. But yeah, these guys just kind of fade away,
Give them even if it's 8 years, give them 8 years. Hey, that's fine. 8 years, boom, you did your job. Maybe you helped the game, maybe not. Maybe you pulled a Rob Manfred and went the wrong direction.
You're saying it should be like a tryout every 4 years?
I think every 8 years you just pick someone new. And if you like the guy, maybe it's just like a vote. You can vote the guy back in, sure. But someone else comes up against him and you have to try and vote him in. And I think it should be the vote from like the owners and the Players Association. I don't think it should just be the owners voting him in anymore.
No, absolutely at this point, I think the players
they're all just shills for the owners anyways.
Yeah. I think the players should. I've always thought the players should have a bit of a say.
Just one time, I want a commissioner that's here for the players and the fans.
Right.
There's never been one. Like maybe Adam Silver, but I don't know.
He's definitely progressive in some ways. Mm-hmm. He understands. I think taking away the college rule was great because he understands that these guys they're coming out at some of them 18 years old and like, you know what, you're an adult enough to have a job. And if your job is going to be playing in the NBA, then for sure, man, go do that. If you want to do that, then come do that here.
I think he's the best at it. But even still, there's something
he's letting them be. But like he also, there's no clothing requirement truly like to show up to games, right? And he's like, they're just people.
You're humans. Just be humans and play this sport. Play this game.
He understands, and there's certain things that he is trying to do to make the game more exciting. But basketball is already pretty exciting as is, especially to new fans.
Yeah.
Like you see it, and there's a lot of scoring in it. But there's a lot of
points,
right? And that's the easy thing. There's also a lot of flashy plays. Like especially now with so much talent there. Like if you were to get into the NBA now, you're kind of getting into it at like the peak.
Yeah.
Because this is like you could name
guys are doing really cool things every single day.
Right. Yeah. Right. So
you don't have that in the NHL though.
No.
You have that talent in the NHL, but you just don't have it being like showcased the way that it is in the NBA.
I had this guy.
It's embarrassing.
This guy I'm working with, he tells me this stat today that was said in like in the 1980s, I think the average game, like goals per game, was like 8. And now 8 goals right there. He even said there was a game with Chicago that they lost to Edmonton like 11-8. Like, they scored 8 goals and still lost, right? Like how does that happen, right? And then he said now the average is about 5. So you get like, it's still pretty, but like 3 goals, maybe he was wrong on it. Maybe it's even less because it sometimes feels like games are, pretty tight.
Yeah.
I think empty net also accounts for a lot of that though, right? Like, if you're up like
it adds you that extra, but there's a thing back then too. So it's kind of
for sure
neutralized it.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like it was just
that's wild.
But then that's even saying like to the goalies now, right? Goalies let in less goals.
Goalies are better. Your players are faster. Your defense is harder. Like it's
right. The game itself is just so much better.
It's such an exciting game, and just I don't know. I just can't do anything. But I don't know what you want to do. Let's just talk about fun things about hockey. Did you happen to catch any of the? You definitely weren't awake for it, but did you see any of the highlights of the women's first game in the Olympics?
I saw a save that was incredible,
unbelievable.
Yeah, man. I just absolutely saw and I was like, oh my gosh, well done.
It happened
that's gotta be a
10-0 game. So
it's gotta be
10-1. I think at the time.
Was it 0-0 at that point still?
I don't think so. It was later in the game.
I don't know. Anyways,
it was a meaningless save when all is said and done because the girls won 12-1. But hey, unbelievable save, and what a game! Oh my god!
Right, but remember when the juniors beat the what was the team Latvia, whatever team we faced first? In the juniors, where Owen Power got a hat trick. Yeah,
I forget who that was.
Owen Power had a hat trick.
I've just suppressed the World Juniors from my mind, just pretending they didn't happen.
Anyways, Power got a hat trick right off the hop, and everybody was buzzing about it. And it was a team we knew we'd slap anyways. And then. So the same deal can be done for this, and this is the Olympics. This is the peak of the peak for these athletes.
This is the summit for
NHL players have been fighting tooth and nail
to go here,
to get back there. Yes, they're watching AHL players and KHL players just mosey their way on there year after, now 2 years. 2 years. Don't forget, NHL players have missed out on 2 years now.
Yeah, 8 years, 2 Olympics. Nuts. Did you see Sarah Fillier? The 2 goals she scored. Whew.
No, they were pretty dynamite.
Oh my god, she ripped one from the top of the circles, just like top mesh, just unbelievable. This kid is 21 years old.
See,
she's a 2000.
Yes, their talent, their ability to keep putting in new talent.
Yeah,
you have my vote.
Oh my god,
Canada,
just hey.
Everything,
just top
everything, everything comes up the soccer right now, which is also a thing we'll talk about.
We'll get to that. The one negative part of that was Melody Daou went down. I don't know if they've updated what her status is going forward, but if she's out for the rest of the tournament, you're looking at a little bit of a tougher stretch because she plays a big role on that team, and if you're missing her, you're a little bit concerned. Let me see. Yeah, they haven't posted anything. I don't know. It'll be fun. It's a tournament that you just expect them to be in the finals, regardless of who's playing. Like it's going to be Canada and US in the finals. That's why they do all these other world things.
I think they've mentioned. Yeah, I remember hearing something once that they were mentioning Finland as a potential, but I think the Finnish players the Finnish team actually left some of their top players behind.
Oh, really?
Too? Yeah. We don't know. No one really knows why, but yeah, it was one of those.
Okay.
Yeah, I love these jerseys. No, do I? I don't know.
I love the black ones, man. Yeah? I think they look great.
You know what it is? I think they look more intimidating on the ice.
Yeah. As a uniform, it looks great. When they first released them, I'm like, but once you see them in action, I'm like, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Really I think seeing it in the air is different.
I know some people don't like the black idea because it's just it's not Canada, we're red and white. But I'm like, I really like black as a style choice.
Yeah.
And they look so crisp on those jerseys.
Yeah.
With like the shiny red emblem and everything. I'm like,
oh yeah. No, it's nice.
I like the white ones too. They look really basic. The
That's
red
a good
ones, they're
goal.
just not. They're not.
She's got speed
Oh
around
my
the
God.
ice, you know, like yeah. Oh,
Fly.
what a
21 years
the
old.
second goal is just too much.
Oh,
Too much. Good little nip.
Emily Clark's on that team. I love
Yeah.
Emily Clark.
CBC Sports. I'm gonna follow for the whole time now. CBC Sports. You have my subscription.
Yeah. Emily Clark, 12-1 game, no points. That's my girl. That's my type of hockey right there.
Yeah. Is that your fantasy? Is it? No, yes, that's on your fantasy team.
Yeah, that's what we do. No points, no goals. We win in the shootout every year.
That's okay. We're ready.
Yeah, it's good. I don't know when the men start. The men start tonight.
Do they?
I didn't even know the women started last night until I saw like updates.
Is it just
it
on?
nothing?
Is it just on? Oh no, CBC.
On CBC. Men don't even start for a while, so men don't start until the 10th is the first game at 8:10 in the morning. Oh,
do you know who's not going to be? Actually, I'll be up for that.
You'll be up. I'm not going to be up. I'm not going to. I might be up at the end of the game, but no.
How are you not up at that time?
8:10 in the morning.
The 10th.
Wait, what is that?
It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday.
Yeah, I know that sucks.
I work at nights. I don't really want to wake up for fucking 8 in the morning.
Dude, you're
to
off.
Watch,
you can just go have a nap.
to watch guys I've never heard of and some ex-NHLers.
Hey, man.
I might wake up for the women's game because at least they're the team that should be there.
Okay.
But the men's game, unless it's at midnight, I don't think I'm watching it.
Sports. I'm going to go to the sports section.
Speaking of Canada.
I didn't know CBC had a sports section, actually, just saying. Like, I know they did, but I didn't know it was.
I just don't go to CBC for my sports. I'm going to be honest.
You can watch it here, though, no?
Can you?
I thought so. I thought maybe they'd post
maybe.
Maybe
I don't
I'm
know.
wrong.
I don't think there's any other. Oh, actually, Charles Amland and Marie-Philippe Poulin are the flag bearers, I guess.
Very nice.
For the
thing.
Yeah, like I don't even think it's arguably. I think it's the best women's hockey player in the history of the game. Like, I don't think it's close. She's got like 4 golden goals in her career already. Just unbelievable. And then Charles Amland, realistically, I think he's the most decorated Canadian men's Olympian. If I could be wrong, I know he's one away from tying the record, so I'm assuming he's the most decorated man. So yeah, it makes sense. It's like his 4th Olympics or 5th Olympics or something like that too. Like, that's just nuts. So good for them.
Wow.
They deserve
it. Really living for the Olympics, eh?
Yeah, that's so many years.
I know.
Like, I think it was 5, but you think about that. Like, that's 20 years. That doesn't make sense, does it?
Yeah.
That's a lot of years.
I mean, you're dedicated, yeah.
How old is Charles Amland? Charles Amland is 37.
I can watch the whole
37.
game.
So yeah, it would be. That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Good for him. Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm not going to watch most of it because it's ridiculous hours. But hey, I guess we'll talk about it
when it's over there.
Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. On to games that we can actually watch at the right.
But to be honest, though, do you not remember? Hang on. Do you not remember in 2014?
Yeah.
Like were they not a little earlier?
They were earlier, but it wasn't as exciting either, though. Like, I don't know. I wasn't Vancouver Olympics pumped up for the Canada winning a gold medal.
Nobody will be Vancouver pumped up unless it comes back. Unless it's in Toronto, no one's gonna be Vancouver.
Could you imagine the Olympics in Toronto?
Dude, they'll never do Pan Am Games.
They'll never do
Pan Am Games.
Yeah, that's not Olympics.
Shit. I know.
Like, it costs way too much money. It just doesn't make sense for Toronto.
Nowhere to put.
It's like the most populated city in the country. They don't need it.
Dude, Newfoundland did it. Come on.
Yeah, because they need it. They need the tourism. Toronto doesn't need the tourism. They need less tourism.
I think Halifax
should do it. A lot of the central Canada states.
Montreal's done it.
Yeah.
They could do it again, I guess.
Yeah, I could see it.
But Calgary's done it, and it's not.
Calgary did it.
I went there to that stadium. Well, I don't know what it is now that they have, but it's just set up. Olympic Park or something? I don't know. No.
I'm assuming it's Olympic something. Montreal's is Olympic Stadium. I know that. But
is it? Okay.
I don't know. Canada, we're soccer players. I didn't know this. I found this out now. We're soccer players.
Without our best player, too, might I add.
Alphonso Davies on the Twitch, because he was Twitch streaming the whole thing. And it was hilarious. for the entire run of
that
3
is
games.
Comedy gold. Like that.
Oh
that dude has
God.
some personality. I love
Did
it.
you hear him talking about? I think his name was Best when he was getting into it with Tayshaun Buchanan. He goes, "Hey, don't worry about it. I got him right here," and he's pointing at his pocket. I'm like, "Yes, thank you." That was so good.
He's a stud.
I fucking love the guy. I ride or die for Alphonso Davies. I don't even like soccer, but I will ride or die for Alphonso Davies. That guy's a Canadian.
Jonathan David is pretty dynamite as well. I think the two of them are going to have a real good like. It feels like we're on the up and up, you know, and it is one of the most talked about things.
Tayshaun Buchanan too. Tayshaun's anywhere, like 20 something, like early 20s. Like they're gonna be good, and they're already good.
Yes, and they're learning it. Like this is starting to get the ball rolling, and we're not saying they're going to win like right away, but these guys are going to grow together and get older together. Yeah.
Now I know nothing about soccer, next to nothing. I'm like, I know how the game works. I mean,
you were watching the Neymar documentary today.
I did watch. I started, and then it's all in Portuguese, and I have to read the subtitles, and I was just doing way too much.
Where did you watch that? That's intense.
On Netflix.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of. It started out neat. It's like a 3-episode thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about soccer. So
I
can't sit here and break down.
I'd recommend that.
Yeah, I can't break down how the games went. I know that they look really good defensively, and whoever their goalie is, I can't remember his name every time.
He's a stud. I watched his little jogging pants save. Don't you worry about it. Oh my God,
buddy in the track pants, just like. Let me get his name.
He was pumped as can be afterwards, and you know who else was pumped? This guy right here, because I was hyped. Once you saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's it, we're winning. And we did. And he stopped everything. He didn't allow a goal in any of the 3 games that just happened. No.
Milan Borjan. Doesn't sound very Canadian, but I'll take it. Milan Borjan.
That sounds as Canadian as you can get. You know what that sounds like?
Everyone here now. It's fine.
Sounds like a gold medal to me.
It does. Well, maybe a gold in like North America. But hey, thank you to Milan Borjan, because he was dominant in those 3 games and stopped like huge save after save, kept them, didn't allow a goal for 3 straight games. They're 1 win away from they're 1 win away from the World Cup right now. They win one of these next 3 games and they automatically qualify.
You definitely need Davies back for that to even just make some like people upset.
They're playing Jamaica in that run, dude.
Oh,
unreal.
I'm aware. They're going to be okay.
They need 1 win. Unbelievable.
How many matches they have left, sorry?
3 more.
Hey, this is a Canadian team, okay? The Canadian teams have been known to do some things.
Hey, we can do it.
All right. Who is it?
Let's see here. They got Costa Rica next. Baby food. Then Jamaica.
Baby food. Isn't Costa Rica like a good team?
Baby food. Costa Rica, Jamaica, Panama. Panama might be a little different, but they beat them all. They're undefeated. They haven't lost once in this tournament yet. They had 3 draws or 4 draws or whatever it was. They haven't lost once.
Oh, we have to wait till March 24th.
Yeah,
now. We got all this excitement.
No. It's just like you get so hyped for a week and then they don't play for a month. It's like,
I wonder if you get back Davies, though. You know, that gives them the opportunity.
They should. I would assume by March he'd be fine.
Alfonso could be back.
The thing with this team is there's just so much fun. Just everybody on the team just has such a great time. They're just such a likable group. They're doing that thing with the drum at the end of the game. And I'm sitting there like, hell yeah, clap your hands. Just because why not? It's just fun, man. Like I don't like the sport. I don't pretend to like the sport, but I really enjoy watching Canada soccer right now. That says a lot. Really? I don't really like soccer. I've just never been a fan. It's just not my thing. It's too slow. And I know as a baseball fan, it sounds stupid, but it's just slow. And it is what it is.
It is like
I can only handle one slow sport.
It's so strategic.
Yeah.
Based off of just like different matters. Like it's strategic. Almost like it's kind of the closest example to just having like a live chess game where literally. But like, you know, they're all kind of moving and it's just like you kind of get into these little battles, but then you get out of them. Like it's so
I just
intense.
Never feel like there's a scoring chance. But I think that's the weird thing for me.
There is,
but like it just never feels like it.
I know, but that's
they're close, and you're like, oh, okay, maybe, and then all of a sudden the ball goes in the net. You're like, oh, shit, they scored.
I started getting into the first thing I got into was the Champions League, which is like the coolest concept because it's all the best, the good teams from the leagues, right? I think you have to be top 2 or something, or maybe top 3 to make.
I think it's all the winners and then like some extra wild cards.
Right, so you got to make it in, right? But
yeah,
that is like. peak competition, you know, for me anyways, when I was watching it. Like you get some of the best footy out of there. Like
The
it's
only thing with that is
unreal.
it's similar to like the World Juniors where they take the winners from like the year before. So like Leicester
Right.
City went on that magical run where they won the I don't even know. Was it the Premier League? I don't know
Premier
what they're
League,
in.
probably. Yeah.
I
They're in the
think
Premier League.
they won that whole thing and it was like, wow, that was ridiculous. But then they went to the Champions League next year with a completely different team and they were just ass.
Right.
Like,
because that's the thing though, too. And like for me, and like also I think we touched on it maybe last podcast, the one before that, but like the idea of buying and selling players is cool. You know, like that to me. And I was even texting my cousin and I said, I'll trade you like in a sport, but like he didn't really understand because it's like, wait, you don't have trades. Like you have transfers, but you don't trade players like that. You
just
dollars and
get rid of them
and players. Yeah, like
just
you know,
buy
like,
them.
oh, I get 90 mil for this. Let's say
just buy human beings. It's insane.
Right.
Yeah. What a crazy sport.
I know, man. I love
it. It's fun. I'm really enjoying this team, and I hope they continue this run. I hope they do some sort of damage at the World Cup if they make it. I'd like to, I don't want to just see this team do all this and just fizzle out.
It just sucks how far apart all the games are.
Yeah. Yeah. Like played a couple weeks from now. Don't make me wait another month. But hey, at least by March it might be warmer and they're not playing in the snow.
Because they go back though, right? Like they all now have to go back to their teams and
that's fair. They do have seasons to play.
That's the thing is that they're now flying back to wherever they need to be to go play, right?
Yeah.
I think Jonathan David, is he not in the Bundesliga, which is the German?
I don't know where David is. I know Osorio plays for TFC, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. But
that's the only one
for like some LOSC.
Let's see here.
Lille.
Plays for League One. Or plays in League One.
League One. Oh, League One. What's that? Oh, is that
Club Lille?
I don't know what that is. Lille? Oh, it's in the
LOSC Lille.
It's in the French. No, he plays in the French league.
League One.
Jeez.
Ligue 1 then, if it's
Ligue
French.
1.
Definitely Ligue 1.
Yeah, okay, my bad. I thought he played in the Bundesliga, the German league with that's where Davies plays though for Bayern Munich. Yeah.
I'm trying to see here. I think I don't know. Yeah. Atakubi is fun. I think Atakubi plays in the MLS, if I'm not mistaken.
I think a lot of them play in the MLS. But see this thing, I'm gonna broaden my horizons here. You know? I'm gonna dive.
I gotta learn a lot more about this team if I want to try and talk about them because I know nothing. I just know they're a lot of fun.
They're really exciting.
Watching Alphonso Davies get fired up for goals is my favorite.
Isn't that how it starts? Oh my god, I know. Like
favorite thing.
I hope that when they go back to playing, that their goal sound
he's streaming
their goal.
I hope he's streaming on the field.
Or I just hope that they replay his reaction every time that they score. That's it. It's just Alphonso Davies' reaction. No, like just getting into it. Yes.
I got him right here. I'm like, buddy. I fell in love with the man. It's so great.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I followed him on Twitter.
I don't think I did. I did look up his Twitch and his YouTube channel.
Okay.
Also, he's dating a girl that plays on the women's Olympic team. I didn't know that either. I forget her name.
There you go.
But like that's a power couple. Imagine if they get married and have a kid. Imagine how talented that kid's gonna be.
Imagine how talented Team Canada's gonna be.
Oh my god. We're in for a treat for the next 10, 20 years of our lives. What am I looking for here? So soccer's fun. On to not so fun things. Baseball.
Not so fun things. Oh yeah. They haven't done anything, have they? Oh,
they met like 4 times since we last talked, and it's been a grand total of like 40 minutes.
They're bringing in a federal mediator, though.
They're trying. The MLB wants to bring in a mediator. The players union has to agree on it. I think this should have been the first thing they did. Like the two sides are never gonna agree. They're just gonna yell and scream at each other and hate it, and neither of them are gonna like the deals that come together. Bring someone in that's independent, doesn't have anything to do with the league. Bring them in, get the fair numbers together. That's your number.
Is this supposed to be February 2nd?
February 16th is when pitchers and catchers report.
16th, and then 22nd. Sorry, I don't know. I meant February 26th. 26th is when it says games.
26th is probably when spring training starts, but 16th is the is pitchers and catchers. There's no fucking way they're getting going by the 16th. At this rate, unless they bring in a mediator, there's no chance. Like, I think that's the play, though. Just bring in the mediator, let him come up with whatever numbers they need, and be like, here's your numbers. And both sides will be pissed off, and that's the way it should be. I want both sides to be angry coming into the season because that's the most fair you're ever going to get. You can't have one side happy and the other side not. You have both sides are angry. Into the season you go and just start. It's the only way to do it, realistically.
They're gonna do though, like where they come in halfway through, like you miss all the spring training bullshit, you miss all the, let's say the first 20 games of the season, and all of a sudden you have like 142 games to get in or whatever.
No, I think, I don't know. I think in worst case they push it back. It's a lot of baseball.
It's a lot of baseball. So like I don't think they're scared of going into their season, right? Like that's the thing is that they had a COVID season where it was like 105 games or somewhere in there, and like it was still a good amount of that.
It was like 60 something.
Was it really?
Yeah. See, but it was only in like 2 months. Like it was
right. So they just had so much baseball, right? Like I feel like they don't really care. They're not in any rush, and that's the issue.
That's the problem. Yeah, they're not trying to get going. They want to make as much money as they can on both sides. Yeah. That's why you get someone neutral in. There you go. Boom, done. Wrap it up and get going. Like, quit dicking around with us. That's all you're doing right now. It's like I want to watch baseball,
but you're not missing any baseball right now, right?
Not yet.
That's the only thing you can hope for. So I guess this is like an early cry for help for you.
There's a lot of guys that still need to get signed, though.
To be honest with you, I'm just so jazzed up about the Super Bowl. Like football has had my attention from the moment that
I forgot baseball existed for a while.
Yeah, like dude, I don't even care. I might actually watch the Pro Bowl because it's the first time in my history of being a Patriot fan that a Patriot quarterback is going. So like I'm all in. I'll watch it.
We'll save the actual Super Bowl for next week because obviously they don't play this weekend. But the championship Sunday.
Dude.
Oh my God. Do you want to start with the better game or where do we want to start? Actually, I guess they were both really good. We'll start with the Rams because I don't think the Rams game was as great.
Really?
I think it was okay, but it wasn't like it. I feel like the first game was just so great that the second one was just like, okay, that was good. Like
I feel like once San Fran started to hang around a lot longer than I expected, I really took it as a game.
Yeah.
And I was in for it because San Fran kind of has that way that they just like they do it
due to technical difficulties. We're just going to transition the most awkward way possible in the football. I don't even know where we left off.
Brand's hamster that was running his Wi-Fi decided he needed a water break.
He passed away, so we put a new hamster in there. This one's a little younger. Hopefully it runs a little longer.
Nobody tell Kurt because he still doesn't know that it's not the same hamster. We
just painted him. He'll be fine. Exactly. The Rams. I think I was mentioning Debo. Man, the last time the Niners gave Debo Samuel the ball was like 14 minutes and 30 seconds left in the in the fourth. I think that's got a lot to do with why they lost. Like they had a chance to come back in that game, and like the best player in your team doesn't get the ball for like the entire fourth quarter. Stupid.
Like you knew that the Rams were lethal, so it's almost like every time on offense that you can work it, like any way that you find to work it down, you have to take it and keep going. Wow, you're really flashing it.
Yeah, what the hell
thing going on?
I don't know what to do there.
Yeah. Throw on some fucking techno and roll with it, man. Come on.
Move it up. Maybe that'll help. Is that better?
Wow. Better, right? For those of you watching, I hope none of you are.
Wow. Sorry if you're epileptic. That's
gonna have a seizure. That's it. Fuck. But yeah, no, like Jimmy G just looked not confident. He seemed to also not find Kittle as often as that. Like I know he had a touchdown, but it's almost like George Kittle is an animal. Like he should be getting 600 yards almost every game.
Yeah,
you're still just flashing away there.
I don't know what's going on.
Are you gonna have a seizure?
I think nothing's flashing on my side. It's just taking in. I don't even know what it's doing. Maybe I'll turn this. Maybe that'll help.
Who knows? Okay, cool. Sorry.
Yeah, just not pretty. I mean, the Rams deserve to be in the Super Bowl. I thought this from the beginning of the playoffs. Like they're a good team. They got a good defense. They got a good offense. And like Matt Stafford, I don't think gets the credit he deserves for being as good as he is because he played in Detroit for so long.
And that's always been the question. Like, was it Matt Stafford or was it Detroit?
It was Detroit.
Right.
It's very clearly now.
And everybody knows that.
Yeah. So
which is fine. But it also is like, dude, when you come into Sean McVay's offense, he is quarterback minded. He needs a top level quarterback. Jared Goff was never going to get you there. Jared Goff was a Band-Aid on a bullet hole,
Yep.
And fucking here comes Matthew Stafford in literally the first season. Now, don't get me wrong, the Rams have ponied up a lot more around Matt Stafford.
Yeah,
that has helped.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
a
just
good
Matt
team.
Stafford.
They're not
Right.
just Matt Stafford.
Right. Jalen Ramsey said it best, and I think we talked about it as well.
It's an all-star team.
It feels like an all-star team. It feels like the Pro Bowl. Okay,
Yeah.
You're right. And that means that they are going to be dangerous all over.
Yeah.
You know, so like I'm not surprised that fourth string tight ends are getting so many yards, because when you have
Cooper having the Cup game of his life,
when you have Cooper Kupp and OBJ, like no shit, you're gonna get the whatever name is on the other team. Like you don't, it doesn't matter. You know, and that's where I feel like Cincinnati's just kind of run into it now. Like, you took out Mahomes and the Chiefs, which were good, but they've always said they've had some holes. Everybody has always been able to pick apart some holes. And it's like, if Patty Mahomes isn't Patty Mahomes, then you're not getting through this. Then you're getting through this team. Sorry, right?
No, you're good. I really don't have much more to say about the Rams. I guess we can just kind of transition that into the Chiefs, because like that Chiefs offense, they're good, but they're only as good as Kelsey and Hill let them be. Like, I think Pat Mahomes is a great quarterback, but it helps that he's got two ridiculous receivers on his side. Like, I know Kelsey's a tight end, but like two guys catching balls that are just otherworldly when they need to be.
He doesn't play like a tight end,
No, he's a wide receiver that just plays tight end. Like, they got two guys that are just otherworldly when it comes down to it. And like, if you can cut those guys off, really hard to do. But I think the Bengals showed it, is once you cut those two guys off, Pat Mahomes is going to struggle, because there's not much to go to. And like, he can only make so much happen with his legs. And the Bengals found a way to do that. Like, the first half was awful. I didn't think they had a chance in hell. They could not find a way to stop him until they got down to that last little drive right at the end of the half, where Eli Apple stepped in and stopped Tyreek Hill from getting the touchdown. I think that just like set the defense in motion. It's like, we can stop these guys. And that's what they did the rest of the game. There wasn't a moment after that I'm like, wow, the Chiefs.
Like, I thought that Cincinnati's offense was better. Always, like Patrick Mahomes, after
more complete, I would say,
after scoring the first 3 touchdowns, it looked very pieced together. It looked very scared. Choppy. Yeah, it just didn't look like the Chiefs offense. And you thought maybe in the second half they
were fighting on the sidelines too.
Right. And they didn't look the same at all. And then you have Joe Burrow, who's just confident as can be. You can't shake that kid. You know what I mean? Like, he is the next coming of like the elite. Right. And he's showing you in year 2, after a major injury, after major time off.
The guy blew up his ACL, missed almost the entire season.
Right. But he's showing you exactly what his level can be. I don't think they're going to win this, but this is going to show them, you know what, the offense, we're fine. We don't need to look there. Defense, like, this is where we're going to come in, because that's exactly what the Rams are going to show, right? You're going offense for offense. I truly believe that both teams are tied with each other, because like, you can say that, whatever you want about OBJ and Cooper Kupp, probably the best 1-2 to ever play together on a playoff team.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Like, what they're doing is very unreal. It's like, how do you guard them at all? We need almost an extra guy on the field.
Yeah.
But then you look over and it's just, it's an unproven team, but man, Jamar Chase is going to be up there in the conversation in a year or 2, if not, if he should be there now.
Jamar Chase is already a top 10 receiver in the NFL.
He's already there. And then you have the better running game for Cincinnati, because Joe Mixon is just, he's been a guy that's been there before and kind of proved it, that he's a hardworking, like, put my name in the top 10, put my name in the top, I should be there type of guy.
I trust Joe Mixon more than I do Cam Akers or
Sony Michel.
Thank you.
Henderson. Yeah, right. Like, it's just,
it's just, they're a loaded offense. Just watching them in that game, man, and just no panic for Joe Burrow. Like,
so
they're
down right now. It keeps tickling. It's the most fucking annoying thing. Sorry, everyone. Whew.
Joe Burrow's down 20, or is it 17 to nothing? 21 to 3 at the end of the first half, and just no panic. Just comes back down. Just keeps on scoring. Just does his job. Like,
yes.
I didn't see the Bengals winning the Super Bowl right from the beginning. Like, I bet on them just because why not? I think they had a chance, but I saw them going there. I'm looking at this team now like they might be the favorite going into next Sunday. Like, I don't know, man. Like, the Rams are really good. Don't get me wrong.
Where the issue is? Here's the biggest factor for me is Cincinnati sits, I think, bottom 2 or 3 in sacks. Joe Burrow has taken. I think they are
hit a lot, but
I think Joe Burrow has taken the most.
He just doesn't care.
You are gonna care when it's Aaron.
He
Donald.
took 9 in that Titans game,
but that says people come through. Right, Aaron Donald is a different beast.
Yeah, you're right.
Von Miller
that D line is ridiculous.
Right.
They're gonna get.
They are all so good, and then you were forced to pressure throw to Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
Like shit.
Yeah. It's
Jalen Ramsey.
So we're not going to talk about the Super Bowl, and that's all we're doing.
We are, because it's so true.
It's crazy. Though, like, I don't know.
When they meet each other, because these teams are like the most exciting offenses, right? Like you with KC, it's not that they're not exciting, but you've seen it, they've done it, you love what they can do, and now it's like
I'm kind of just bored of seeing it.
Right. And that's what a lot of people are saying. But now you're seeing like Joe Burrow and those guys, they're unproven on the Cincinnati side. And I think that's why they're going to walk in an underdog, right? You have so many stars in LA. You have so many stars who have proven it and have just never won, except for Von Miller. I think Von Miller is one of the only guys on that side who's won before, but I could be wrong for sure. Check me on that.
Yeah. I can't really think. Weddle's never won, did he?
Weddle was
he with KC?
No. He never played in KC.
No,
he went to Baltimore for like a bit.
I don't think he was on.
I don't think he was on any team like that. But that's what I mean. I think he was a Charger for the longest time.
Yeah,
when they were in San Diego.
Consistently never winning then.
With Phillip Rivers.
Yeah. So yeah, they do have a pretty inexperienced team.
Yeah.
I think both sides they're not poised for this. Like, at least the Rams have been there in recent memory. So you got guys like Donald that have done it.
You know what, though? Sean McVay's been there, right? That's, I think, the biggest. Sean McVay has been there and done that. And he got bested by a better game plan. And I guarantee you that will not happen again, right? And that's why the Rams, they did what they needed to do, right? San Fran was their biggest defensive test, right? San Fran has a very, very legitimate system.
Yeah.
Right? Like the Rams are still figuring things out for sure, but the Rams have so many like fail safes. Hey, like Cooper Kupp's our fail safe.
He's open somewhere.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Or OBJ, you're somehow getting open everywhere too. So like your other fail safe, right? And the running game is just like they just have so many different ways they can go about it. And then the defense for me, man, the way that they rush everybody.
Unbelievable.
Jimmy G looked rushed, right? Like how many times did Jimmy G just look like
he threw that pick at the end of the game that was just like, what the hell am I going to do? And just hucked it up and hope for the best.
Wasn't it third down? You're in 4-down territory.
Yeah,
man.
It was a dumb
tuck
pass.
It. That's it. You just tuck it. And you know what? You have to throw a screen to Debo because that's it. That's all. The only way that you're getting that ball down the field, which
I get what he was trying to do.
It should have been 2 screens to Debo, 3rd and 4th. And
it should have only been passes to Debo the entire fourth quarter. Like he was just running through everybody.
Or Kittle.
Do you know what? The odd time dump at the Kittle.
Do you know what the craziest play from the Rams was? The Rams threw a flea flicker tight end screen. So that means they gave it to the running back. They threw it back to the quarterback. The tight end was blocking and then released behind 2 offensive linemen, and they got him the ball and he ran up the field.
That tight end just like came out of nowhere and was better than what Tyler Higbee did.
That is the coaching that you have from Sean McVay. Is like literally there's a flea flicker and it's a screen to the tight end. Why are those things all connected?
Brilliant football mind.
Right.
Like people talk about Bill Belichick being like the smartest football coach. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't think Sean McVay is the best coach in football because I think he's way too emotional. But in terms of just knowing the game, there isn't anyone better than Sean McVay.
No, you know what is kind of cool is like for me, it's Sean McVay and Bill Belichick are the same, but on opposite ends. Where Sean McVay is like offensively like so good, and Bill is
so creative, and
you know what I mean. Like for so long, Tom Brady ran the offense, and sure there was some influences, but Bill Belichick, like if he trusts his guys, and like Tom Brady is the GOAT, right? Like he retired. I guess we could talk about Tom Brady's retirement too.
Oh yeah, shit.
We have not yet, right? We haven't even touched on it.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
I can't forget about that.
I
should have worn it. I didn't wear it. I was feeling so sad with the Jays. I needed their support, and I still am feeling sad about that. But anyways. But they're just kind of on opposite ends, like Sean McVay is really good offensively, and his defense right now can handle their own. Not they don't have great schemes, I think the Rams it's the Rams offensive coach, that is about to become a head coach. But anyways, like that team, you have a lot of studs on the defensive end where it's just play hard. Whereas Bill throws a lot of schemes at you. He throws a lot of
little different styles.
Things look very different. Things are confusing, and he game plans,
I'll tell you one thing. I think I would much rather play for Sean McVay
Oh yeah.
Did you see him in the post game interviews, just like hyping up his guys and talking about how great this team is and I love my players? I'm like, buddy, I'd run through a brick wall for you, and I don't even play football.
Yeah,
like, but I'm here. I'm so fired up.
Exactly. You know what this kind of reminds me of, though, and it might come and bite me in the ass, in which case Cincinnati wins, is that remember when Miami Heat got together for the big three and they faced Dallas?
They didn't get it the first year.
Right. The only difference is that Dirk Nowitzki was very much a veteran and Joe Burrow is probably not, but
he's a child.
Right.
he's a child.
He figured out the league in his second year. But anyways, right. It was like, these guys are having fun. These guys are laughing. They're smiling. They're just joking around. And the other team is all business. And this is a 1-game elimination.
The entire Bengals were celebrating in that AFC championship like that. Everything is just house money for them with this. But the fact that they were there is house money. The fact that they won is house money.
Yes.
They don't really like. I don't want to say they don't care about the Super Bowl, but they don't care about the Super Bowl.
Even in the interview, Joe Burrow's like, "Yeah, that was a great one. I'm moving on to the next one." You know, like, okay, let's go. I got Joe business.
Burrow, my age, didn't know that. The second year, he's 25 years old.
Yeah. Crazy. Did he play all 4 years at LSU?
He must. I think he started somewhere else, didn't he? He went to
maybe.
Yeah, he went to Ohio State, and then he went to LSU.
Right. Okay, and then LSU is where he started.
Yeah.
Dynamite.
Key to success to being a quarterback in college and the NFL, just be named Joe. Because Joe Namath, who's the other one? Joe
Theismann.
Joe Theismann.
Yeah.
And
like you said, just be named Joe.
And Joe Burrow. It was Joe Namath. I forget the fucking second one. Let's go Joe Theismann, and then Joe Burrow could become the only 3 quarterbacks to ever win a college title and an NFL title.
But you know that Joe Burrow will be the only one to win a national championship, a Heisman, and a Super Bowl if he does it.
Yeah, crazy.
Because they didn't.
Also, the only first overall pick to take his team to a Super Bowl in the first 2 years, ever. This was a 2-win team.
Shout out the other Ohio boy.
This was
was it been 5 years and he still hasn't taken his team to a playoffs or what?
It's okay. This is it's a 2-win team. 2 years ago. 2 seasons ago, they had 2 wins.
That is the biggest turnaround, I think, in NFL history.
Unbelievable. I never I liked the Bengals growing up because they got really cool jerseys and I bought 2 of them. But for the last few years, I've just been way out in the Bengals.
You know what I like the Bengals for? I like the Bengals for Chad Ochocinco because he literally changed his jersey name to be 85. And that's what he is. And it still sounded cool. You know, you say Ochocinco and you're like, wow, no, that's still cool, man. Good job.
They had Carson Palmer, I think it was, for a little bit there. And then
Andy Dalton, baby.
Yeah. No, we don't worry about that era. But they had Terrell Owens there at one point. It was like the T Ocho show, I think was great. Okay. That was my first introduction to football as a kid, was the T Ocho show, because it was fun. Those guys.
I remember Ochocinco. The only thing I really know about him is that he buys dollar store earrings because he says, they just got to look real, and people think they're real, which is true. And then he is going to get McDonald's or something, and he said, "You can eat whatever you want. Just work your ass off. That's just keep grounded." And he's like, "I can eat whatever the hell I want." He goes, "Look at me." I don't know about now, but still, he was
what a character, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Could you imagine him and Ochocinco on the same team? Can you imagine being in that locker room?
I wanted him and Tom Brady to work out so well when he came over. He got literally voted probably the most useless player. I don't even think he made a catch. He probably made a catch, couple, but it was bad.
I feel like everybody just goes to New England to die.
Where? To New England to die?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, man. Tom Brady left.
Tom Brady left to live is what he did.
Yeah, to win a Super Bowl. Gronkowski left to live.
Yeah. I'm kind of disappointed now that in his final year, Tom Brady didn't win a Super Bowl. I never really liked Tom Brady, but now I'm hey, I would have much rather seen the Peyton Manning walk into the sunset with your trophy held high.
You know what's funny though? I think he wanted to go out this way because every time that they won, he would just keep saying, "I can do it again." Then it was almost like I want somebody to take me. I want somebody to take me off the throne because, and I think even right now, he won't say it out loud, but I think he's voting for the Rams because what better way?
You lost to the champion.
You know what? I lost to the champion. Okay, I get it. It was their year. They had an unbelievable run.
Nothing you could do.
Nothing I could do. I went out. The thing I can be most sad about is that I didn't leak this first. Somebody
Yeah,
else decided to hop the gun on me. So okay.
brutal.
But like you did know that it was a different year. And I think that sensing that for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
but like for Tom Brady, it was kind of always that way, right? There was no
Mm-hmm.
hesitation. So I felt like the first time that there was, it was like, yeah, man, you're gone.
I think
That's
that was
fine.
his mindset too. He's just kind of felt like, you know what, if I'm not all in, then I don't want to be in it. Oh,
Right.
he's four. What is he? 43,
40, 44, 43.
44.
Yeah.
Like
I think he will be 44 when the
he's an
season
old
starts or
man.
whatever.
Really, when it comes to sports, he's an old man. And,
Doesn't
like
it feel too soon though?
it does.
Like
It
I miss
it
him
totally
already.
does. Like this is
Just
one of his better
retired. He
seasons.
wasn't even going to be playing this week, like the next coming weekends, and I
Yeah.
miss him. Like,
Yeah.
it's sad already.
It's so weird. Just like I thought I don't know why I just felt like he was gonna play until I died. Like it
Right.
just doesn't make any sense. But like it just seemed like he was never gonna retire.
Yeah.
He's better now than he was in his first few years.
Oh, I know. There's this thing on DAZN I recommend everybody watches, but it's about the 5 quarterbacks drafted before him who are all garbage. And he remembers all of them. He sat there and he goes through the list of all of them. And he maybe forgot the guy just before him, but then he remembered his name because, what, 4th round pick, whatever. Tom Brady's 199th overall. Like, gonna do nothing, right?
Crazy, man.
But yeah, he was that kind of guy. You kept telling him he couldn't do it and he just kept doing it. Like, I felt like the fans got so upset from the very first, like, zero to hero, like the best example of nobody to somebody story that we could get. They got so upset and like almost hated him because I get it. Like,
people absolutely hate him. You're right.
There was shady things for sure done in sports.
Sure.
Absolutely. There's shady things done in all sports. We are seeing that now more than ever.
The Spygate thing was a little dicey. If you're still mad at Tom for Deflategate, shut up. Like it's like been scientifically proven that fucking deflating a ball that much, it didn't help him, but they just wanted to pin him for something. And like
ridiculous?
Man.
They also suspend him for 4 games so he can be 4 games healthier and go win a Super Bowl. Okay, good job. Thank you.
Like if you truly hate Tom Brady, for a damn fact that it's just pure jealousy.
That's where I didn't understand why everybody was like, you know what? They don't even have the respect that he was a nobody.
Yeah.
He went to Michigan.
He was nothing.
There was nobody that said Tom Brady is going to be the guy. Nobody even said Tom Brady is going to be a guy.
No. He shouldn't even have been good.
And by fluke injury, he just did what he needed to do.
He became the guy of all time.
Right. And you can say the system is what helped him best, but okay, can you say that about everybody? I truly believe that without the star player having the right coach, you probably don't get the right mix, right? You saw that with Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford never had anything. No. Now he's got a quarterback coach. Wicked. He has been dynamite.
Yep.
He was up for MVP. Yep. Cooper Kupp was up for MVP. Cooper Kupp had a better season than already having the best season. Cooper Kupp had a Mike Trout season.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp was Mike Trout 2 years in a row. You know?
Crazy, man.
And it's just like now Tom Brady just like, he was it's frustrating. It's frustrating to see that because it was a Patriot thing. But yeah, I believe that they worked well together for sure. They needed to, and that's where the success was. But like, you don't stay for that long for no reason, right? 20 years, you don't.
I can fully admit that growing up, I hated him because he won so goddamn much, and I was sick of it. Like, you can't just be like, oh, he's not the greatest. He's the greatest quarterback of all time. Just if you say otherwise, you're just straight up wrong. Like you try and cherry pick down to the littlest fucking thing. Just like, oh, well, he had good defenses. That's why he won so many Super Bowls. Okay, but the guy straight up first overall in touchdowns, yards, completions, second in MVPs, first in Super Bowl MVPs, first in Super Bowls. Like, come on, man. Who's better? There's fucking no one better. But like, he puts up better numbers in his 40s than guys did in their career.
But you need a guy to get you there. You know what? Like, the quarterback is the most important position because who touches the ball every single offensive play? Realistically, especially in a Tom Brady offense, if you're having a great offense, you don't need any of these wildcats. You don't need any of these pushing them out. Like, you run a perfect offense. That's you.
You know what's funny? Do you know who's second overall in receiving yards in the age of 40 plus all time NFL?
Jeez, who's played into like Drew Brees played till 41.
The number one was Jerry Rice.
Okay,
He is like, I think it's like 1,400 or something.
Okay. In receiving yards. So you're talking wide receivers?
No, receiving. No, just receiving yards. Doesn't matter what position.
Why is it Tom Brady?
Jerry Rice is first with 1,400 and something. Tom Brady is second with 6. Just incredible stuff.
Guy Don't say he can't make a catch.
He had 1 6-yard reception, and that put him second on the list for 40+ yards because guys don't play till they're 40, especially in the NFL, especially as a receiver or a running back. It doesn't happen.
He's a great story. I think we're gonna all be sad to see him go.
Absolutely.
You know what? Now I feel like I can get involved in conversations when people talk about Jordan and people talk about Gretzky. Now I feel like I can get involved and say, like, you know what, man, like Tom Brady was that guy for football, because like if you needed a game-winning drive, why was he not your guy? You know, in a pressure situations, how many times was it Tom Brady's leading a comeback? Tom Brady is marching.
He did it against the Rams, and the Rams just happened to do it themselves with less time on the clock.
And then the Rams just Tom Brady'd you, you know what? And I felt like that was why it was like fate showing him, like, you know what, you're gonna do what you're gonna do again.
Other guys can do it.
And you're gonna maybe will your time in here, but fate is now taking it from you because you're off the field for it. It's out of your control, you know. And that was it. It was like Father Time saying, this is
over, buddy. That's the end.
Thank you for showing us you won last time. Thank you for making this exactly like the most Tom Brady ending you could without winning, you know. So
shout out Tom Brady. It's been a fun career.
Love you, man.
I'm gonna miss him.
TB12
never thought I'd say it, but I'm gonna miss him.
Will always be my favorite. I don't think there's gonna be anybody. I love Mac Jones.
He definitely wasn't my favorite.
Oh yeah, but
I respect the shit out of him.
Yeah,
he's the greatest football player of all time.
You were not.
I'm not afraid to say that, and I fucking hated him for most of my football watching career until last year.
That's why he's the greatest.
Just kept on winning
because you hate him because he just wins and he wins.
That's it.
Why do you think people are getting sick of Patrick Mahomes?
I'm just sick of him. I'm just sick of the Chiefs. I'm not even sick of Patrick Mahomes. I'm sick of how much people talk about Patrick Mahomes.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like
he doesn't do anything that special. Like his ability to get away from people is ridiculous. I don't understand it. It's like people are afraid to hit him. It feels like because
he just knows.
He just dances away from people. I'm like, why didn't you just wrap him up? I'm like, why are you diving at him? Just wrap him up. Yeah. But I don't know. Obviously, there's more to it than what I'm looking at. But it's just like, and then they're like, oh, look at that throw. He threw it sidearm. I'm like, yeah, there's 8 quarterbacks in the league that do that every single game. I'm like,
right, but he did it.
The difference
first.
is he's throwing into Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill runs faster than Olympic sprinters.
Right, but he also did it first. Like
Matt Stafford was doing it years ago.
Not as often though, and as
but it was not like it was a brand new thing.
But he worked it in as a regular throw. You know what I mean? Like that's what it was that quarterbacks then all of a sudden realized that, I can change my arm angle and I can throw from anywhere. So you know, I feel
it's just got less impressive. But every time he does it, look at what he can do. It's like everyone can do that.
Right. Isn't that why it's become less impressive though? You know?
Yeah.
Because he does it,
because everyone does it so much. But I think that's the thing. Is just every time he does it, it's like, oh my God. It's like the first time it's ever happened.
When you see the Michigan now, are you through the roof on it?
I mean, it's still pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. But people can do it.
The thing, it's not that much harder to throw a football at one o'clock as opposed to
I'll change it to through your legs.
3 o'clock.
Players are doing that left, right, and center, throwing it through their legs, hitting the puck through their legs. That one's easy for them now. So when you see that though, it's a little tough.
The difference between scoring just regularly and scoring between your legs is a lot more intense than throwing over the top as opposed to throwing sidearm with a football.
Do it then.
I mean, I think I could do that. I wouldn't be good. I'm not going to be. Man, I watched watching Patrick Mahomes though, and that O-line and him having 40 seconds in the pocket every time makes me feel like I could be a quarterback. I think that's got a lot to do with it. I'm like, everyone talks about how great he is. I'm like, yeah, lots of quarterbacks would be that great if they had that much time.
Right. And
I think
that is my key point for this Super Bowl is that there's no time.
No time either.
Joey B. Joey B will have no time.
We'll see. It'll be fun. We'll talk more about it next week.
Oh, we will.
But, thank you for listening. If you're still around with us, as always.
Why do you always assume our fans are not with us? I think our fans are with us right to the very end.
I don't know if I could listen to me for an hour.
That's why there's both, though. You know.
If you are here, comment down below. We'll just see if anyone's still listening. Comment down below. We appreciate it.
This could go one of two ways.
There's gonna be no comments down below because I'm talking to myself.
Or text us. Either text us or comment so that we know.
Just be like, hey, I listened. I'll be like, hey, thanks.
Tweet us.
We appreciate you.
We got
I'll send you a shirt.
I'm on the.
Maybe I'll send you a sweater.
The soch, as people call it. I'm on the social.
Yeah, we're both on Twitter at BNB_Brant and BNB_Brandon. You can follow the podcast at ABNB Pod on, I believe it's on Instagram and Twitter. I think it's the same handle. You can find all our content and a whole lot more at theasports.com. And we'll catch you next week. We've been doing great. We are on 3 weeks in a row of posting. I'm proud of us. Thank you for listening.
Is that like officially like
that's got to be a first time in like a year.
Can we call we're on a roll?
We're on a roll. I would say we're on a roll.
We're on a roll. Definitely. We started. People are on a roll.
It's not stopping now. We're rolling.
You know what? Don't call it a comeback. We never went nowhere. Okay.
We'll catch you guys next week. Cheers.